Hello and welcome. I'm Elena Guerrero, founder of Global Biomagnetism. Today, we're going to explore the relationship between the bioelectric and biomagnetic aspects of the human body and how they function together as one interconnected bioelectromagnetic system. We often think of the human body primarily in biochemical terms, but it is also electrical. And electrical activity is closely connected with magnetic phenomena. In fact, the body has both bioelectric and biomagnetic properties, two deeply interconnected aspects of the same system. What if the human body is not only biochemical, but also bioelectromagnetic? Every cell depends on electrical activity, ion movement, voltage differences, and electromagnetic interactions. So what if understanding the body requires us to look at both its bioelectric and biomagnetic properties? So we have one body, one interconnected system. One of the most fascinating observations in biomagnetism is that two areas located far apart in the body appear energetically connected during the scanning process. But how could two distant anatomical points participate in the same pattern of imbalance? To explore this question, we first need to understand the relationship between the bioelectric and biomagnetic body. The bioelectric and biomagnetic aspects of the body are not two separate systems. In fact, they are deeply interconnected, two aspects of one bioelectromagnetic system. And this connection may help us understand better one of the central observations behind the biomagnetic pair: how two distant areas of the body can participate in the same pattern of imbalance. Two distance points, one resonant relationship. So welcome to my presentation about the bioelectromagnetic body, understanding the connection between bioelectric and biomagnetic systems. During his research, Dr. Isaac Goiz-Duran, a medical doctor and a surgeon, who discovered the biomagnetic pair in 1988, established the following core principles that define a biomagnetic pair. pH distortions in the body occur in pairs. One area becomes acidic while its pair area becomes alkaline. These pair points remain connected through energetic resonance. Both points must be treated simultaneously with opposite polarity magnets. Restoring pH balance in the pair supports the body's natural healing mechanisms. The bioelectric body and the biomagnetic body are deeply interconnected. They are essentially two sides of the same system. The bioelectric body refers to the electrical aspects of human physiology: pH balance, acidic and alkaline, ion distribution, sodium, potassium, calcium, etc., cell membrane potentials, voltage differences, nerve impulses, and signaling. Dr. Esther del Rio, a Mexican scientist trained in chemistry and biology with a master's degree in marine biology and a PhD in biochemistry, discovered in 1968 that the human body contains a network of magnetites, tiny naturally occurring iron oxide particles distributed throughout the body that form part of our bioelectrical system. The biomagnetic pair refers to the magnetic aspects of human physiology, primarily through this network of magnetites. Her discovery offers a physical and structural explanation for how distant areas of the body may remain interconnected as part of one unified bioelectromagnetic system. The magnetite network works as an intricate web of microscopic iron oxide particles distributed throughout our tissues. These particles act like tiny biological magnets, responding to magnetic fields and interacting with the body's electrical activity, including pH, ions, and cellular voltage. Through these interactions, the magnetite network connects the body's bioelectric activity with its biomagnetic properties, creating one unified bioelectromagnetic system, a continuous communication network that may help coordinate activity throughout the body, including between distant areas. This interconnected system may provide a framework for understanding how activity in one area of the body can be associated with changes in another, even when these two areas are far apart. With this model, bioelectromagnetic interactions help coordinate activity throughout the body and provide a possible basis for understanding the energetic resonance observed between the 2 points of a biomagnetic pair. In simple terms, bioelectric is the flow of charged particles, electricity. Biomagnetic is the magnetic fields generated by and influencing the electrical activity mediated by magnetites. This brings us to the central concept of biomagnetism. If the body functions as an interconnected bioelectromagnetic system, an imbalance in one area of the body may be reflected in another, and this is the basis of the biomagnetic pair. In this model, a biomagnetic pair consists of 2 points that are in resonance with each other. The 2 points may be close together or located far apart in the body. When a disruption occurs, it affects this interconnected system. 2 zones may participate in the same pattern of dysregulation, creating what we can describe as an energetic gap or interruption in the network. Rather than claiming that an anatomical biomagnetic pair directly identifies a specific microorganism, we understand it as a clinical correlation. 2 zones that participate in the same pattern of dysregulation within the body. A local alteration can generate responses in distant regions of the organism throughout the body's continuous coordinating pathways: nervous, fascial, vascular, immunological, and bioelectrical, causing a pH imbalance in certain areas of the body. When a pH imbalance arises in one area of the body, whether associated with infections, toxins, emotional stress, trauma, surgery, implants, or other factors, a corresponding pH alteration occurs at another resonating point. These 2 points are in resonance with each other and together form a biomagnetic pair. These 2 points can be close or far away from each other. With biomagnetism, we identify the interruptions or gaps in this network. And by balancing the affected points, by fixing the gap, we help restore the network so it can function properly again, similar to repairing a disruption in an electrical circuit. Because of this interconnected bioelectromagnetic system, the underlying imbalance associated with certain symptoms may be located far from where the symptoms are manifesting. This is why a full body scan is always essential. Using a specific energetic scanning technique, the practitioner observes changes in leg length to identify altered areas and their corresponding resonant points, creating a functional profile of the patient's biomagnetic terrain. The essential question could be, how could a magnet produce a biological effect? Available evidence describes several possible mechanisms, including changes in cell membrane organization, changes in how ions move in and out of cells, calcium responses, changes in the activity of immune cells involved in inflammation, and effects on cellular structures that respond to physical forces. It is also important to understand that the biological effects of a magnet can be influenced by characteristics of its magnetic field, its intensity, how strong the field is at a point, and its gradient, how quickly the field changes from one point to another. When opposite polarity magnets are placed close together, they create a stronger change in the magnetic field between them. This may influence sensory nerves and the way pain signals are transmitted. Magnetic fields are also weaker with distance, or they can become weaker with distance, which means the field is strongest near the magnet and decreases as it reaches deeper into the body. These physical properties may influence how biological tissues respond to magnetic stimulation. Once a biomagnetic pair is identified, magnets of opposite polarity are placed simultaneously on both points. In the biomagnetic pair model, an imbalance can be identified even when the affected area is located deep within the body. The appropriate magnetic polarity is applied externally over each of the two affected areas, with the magnetic field directed toward the imbalance. Because these 2 points of a biomagnetic pair represent opposite pH alterations, opposite magnetic polarities are applied simultaneously, one to each point, with the magnetic charges directed toward the affected areas. Within this model, the magnetic fields are understood to influence the distribution and movement of charged particles. According to Dr. Goy's model, the magnetic polarity applied over each affected area acts on the altered ionic charges, displacing them toward each other and helping them redistribute and reorganize toward equilibrium and balance. As this ionic balance is restored, the normal concentration and distribution of ions in the affected areas may also be reestablished. In this way, the pH of both points returns toward its normal physiological range. Within the biomagnetic pair model, the magnetic fields are used to help restore balance between the points, closing the energetic gap or interruption in the network. Treating both points simultaneously with opposite magnetic polarities is intended to restore proper flow and balance throughout the resonant circuit. This process supports the body's natural healing mechanisms by helping restore optimal pH balance, improving cellular electrical signaling, reducing inflammation when needed, and enhancing coordination across distant regions of the body. By systematically identifying and balancing biomagnetic pairs, biomagnetism helps restore pH balance and proper flow within the body's bioelectromagnetic network, promoting overall homeostasis and supporting the body's innate capacity to heal. So, to briefly summarize, the key concepts of the bioelectric and biomagnetic systems are: the body is bioelectric. Electrical activity and magnetic phenomena are interconnected. The body contains magnetically responsive biological materials. Together, they form an interconnected bioelectromagnetic system. Distant areas can participate in the same pattern of dysregulation. Biomagnetism identifies the pair relationships throughout the full body scan. Opposite magnetic polarities are applied simultaneously in order to restore balance. Are you ready to learn how to balance the bioelectromagnetic body? If this presentation has sparked your interest and you would like to learn how to balance the bioelectromagnetic body using a very simple yet highly effective technique, I invite you to learn more about the biomagnetic pair and biomagnetism. In our Biomagnetism Level 1 Proficiency Training Program, you will learn how to perform a systematic full body scan to identify the biomagnetic pairs, to identify the gaps or imbalances that may be contributing to symptoms and dysfunction. And you will learn how to balance them to support the body's return to physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being. You can also read some of our students' and clients' testimonials. By visiting globalbiomagnetism.com, you can learn more about the biomagnetic pair and our professional training programs. We have been teaching the original GOES method since 2011, and we've been practicing biomagnetism or the biomagnetic pair therapy since 2009. I'm Elena Guerrero, founder, instructor, and therapist at Global Biomagnetism. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for your time.